BlackRock has a new favorite altcoin.
Trillions of dollars flow through the global economy daily. As the world changes, so must the systems that move its value forward. Treasury bonds have long been a bedrock of traditional finance, but a new era is emerging, the era of tokenized assets. Tokenization is breathing new life into traditional assets. Liquidity, once out of reach, is now within grasp. Real-time settlement and 24/7 markets, once imagined, are now reality. This is just the dawn of a more connected, accessible, and open future. To lead this future, Securitize, the leading tokenization platform, has chosen Wormhole to securely and seamlessly scale tokenized assets globally.
Wormhole. Yes, you heard it here first, guys. Wormhole is the new secret altcoin BlackRock is getting behind through their platform, Securitize. Now, for you guys that don't know, Securitize is where BlackRock launched their very first tokenized fund, also known as BIDL. And this was done on the Ethereum network. Now, you may have seen this from RWA.xyz, as they are the second largest tokenized treasury fund that exists on the market. But here's how Wormhole might open up the crypto market into billions of new volume.
The institutions are here, and one of the biggest demands is to come to Solana. And so Wormhole is helping Securitize here with this, and bringing all of the fund managers that Securitize works with on-chain to Solana. And how is it working? So Securitize multi-chain assets, it's a unified multi-chain user experience, meaning that the tokens maintain their unique properties. So it's an SPL or an ERC20, obviously depending on which chain it's on. There's no need for liquidity pools. So for those of you who have been sending assets across chains for years or many months now, you're familiar with some of the challenges you'll run into. You no longer need liquidity bridges or to compose unique transactions to ultimately just go from a native asset to native asset. Today, you're just able to send, maintain that fungibility and send between all these different blockchains. There's institutional compliance with this solution. So Securitize will maintain ownership of these contracts, and they can change anything they need in order to maintain any sort of compliance regulations they need.
For example, they can integrate ISO 222.
And then there's a multi-chain synchronized token state. So with the Guardian network, we're able to maintain this synchronized state or global synchronized state so that you can maintain the integrity of the token balance across all different chains.
And there you have it. Wormhole is the future of these tokenized markets. What was once a $10 million industry has already emerged into $2.3 billion in the first year of its existence, and it's only just getting started, as Swift just announced in August that they are unlocking now the potential of tokenization with successful blockchain experiments. Now, there are three main projects I am watching in the tokenized markets. Okay, number one, obviously, is going to be Wormhole, as introduced in this video. Now, at the end of this video, I'll explain a entry point and when or when not I may be accumulating this project. But there's another two very big key figures that are playing a role in the tokenized markets. That's going to be none other than Chainlink, which Swift is working with currently with over a dozen major financial institutions and has successfully demonstrated that it can provide a single point of access to multiple networks using existing secure infrastructure, thereby significantly reducing operational challenges and investment required for institutions to support the development of tokenized assets. Now, for you guys that don't understand what's going on, here is the TLDR, or the total rundown, so to speak, on what institutions are going to be doing with the tokenized treasuries, or just private equity, real estate, etc. All of this tokenized market. They are now going to be able to 365 days out of the year, all year long, 24/7, be able to borrow and lend in real time. It doesn't matter if it's private equity, these institutional real estate plays, it could be, again, the tokenized treasury markets. They can cross-transfer between Solana, Bitcoin eventually, hopefully, but of course, Ethereum, Polygon Matic, Avalanche, all your favorite networks. and they're able to access all of the DeFi and the borrowing lending protocols. You see, the tokenization of treasuries and transferring tokenized treasuries via Wormhole is going to allow these institutions to deposit their funds into things like Ondo Finance, which could allow them to access fixed rate lending protocols where tokenized US treasuries are used as collateral and the institution can start earning fixed yields. This is opening up all these institutions that you saw in the previous video to open up their access to liquidity vaults and now gain yield generating opportunities for the participants. Long story short, this is fractional banking on steroids. This is fractional banking 2.0. This is allowing institutions to risk manage and earn yields in a way that were never done before. They're going to be able to now invest and reallocate into DeFi and in real time, again, 24/7, be able to borrow and lend against any of their tokenized assets. So for example, an institution holding US treasuries can use a platform like Securitize to tokenize them on Ethereum and then bridge these tokens to Solana via Wormhole, which you're watching in front of you. On Solana, they can deposit these tokenized treasuries into another protocol like Ondo Finance or any other yield generating platform, where these yield products that will allow them to lend out the treasuries or participate in liquidity pools. Now, they're gonna be able to do this on over 30 plus chains with 200 plus apps. And as this develops, it is going to allow institutions to generate DeFi-based returns on a traditionally low risk asset like treasuries, while benefiting from all the cross-chain liquidity and low transaction costs. So the future of this, guys, is going to allow the industry to launch its first ever multi-chain interoperability functions alongside Securitize and the likes of Swift and protocols like CCIP through Chainlink. This is going to allow institutions to access an entirely new market that is worth trillions upon trillions of dollars. So platforms like Wormhole are now more important than ever as institutions move all of their assets on chain. So when would I buy a project like Wormhole? Well, Wormhole, as you can see, has dropped quite a bit since the launch of its project. Now, this is normal for any ICO, especially when an ICO launches right around, of course, the peak season of Bitcoin's movement, which was earlier this year. You can see it launched in April of 2024. It's been in a downward spiral. It has rebounded a bit and jumped all the way up towards 39.40 cents. But if I were to pick this up, what I would be primarily watching is going to be the holders value here. So there's very little holders for what is a $1 billion project. 5,400 holders is really not that much, which means this is definitely more of an institutional play. So if I'm watching Wormhole, one, you're going to want to watch out for all of the unlocks and everything that is going to come into the fully diluted value. There's only about 25% of the tokens in supply. But personally, if I were to pick up Wormhole at this point, I would be looking to get in around probably the 25 to 30 cent level. Now, we could have gotten a nice double bottom here on Wormhole's price action. I would be very, very cognizant, or I'd be watching out for potentially a cup and handled pattern playing out before a breakout to the upside. Now, of course, all of these markets are going to be following Bitcoin. And if I were to dollar cost average right now, it may not necessarily be Wormhole. This would be a play that I want to watch out for and get a better entry point, but it's going to be on other plays like Chainlink and, of course, Ondo Finance. These three are the larger mover and the largest movers in the tokenized market currently. Ondo, of course, being the largest DeFi protocol that exists in the tokenized treasury markets, one of the largest clients of Securitize, and one of the biggest reasons for success behind the BUIDL product. But now with Wormhole, it's going to allow Franklin Templeton and a lot of these other institutions to access, of course, Solana and all these multi-chain applications, which is just going to bring more volume and more value to, of course, not only the TVL and the market cap of these protocols, but the price action of those altcoins. So when you're looking at the top tokenizations play, we got Wormhole here. We got Chainlink here, which is at $11.11, and I think a steal of an opportunity at this point. I think Chainlink still can easily hit $30 this cycle. I know you guys hate me being super realistic, but guys, I'm a realistic person, okay? $30 Chainlink is a almost $20 billion market cap. That's a lot of value moving into the sector. But with CCIP and Swift integrating all of these new really cool tokenization efforts, and then alongside that, you have BlackRock and Securitize working with projects like Wormhole. Wormhole, I do believe, is going to have more upside potential. It's only an $839 million market cap token. And when you're working with the largest institutions out there with the large backing of all these VCs and early investors, I do expect this product to be able to hit anywhere from a $3 to $5 billion expectation pretty simplistically. So, or pretty easily, I should say. So this is something that maybe you can start DCAing here. It is down quite a bit from its, of course, ICO. I'm still sure it's over 100x above the initial angel rounds and seed A and seed B funding rounds for the institutions that got in early. But then the favorite project of mine is going to be Ondo, which right now is sitting at 70 cents, which has been a great accumulation range. In fact, this is a huge support region. Now, for Ondo Finance specifically, if you were to pull up a trading view, and I'll do this in real time with you guys, if you guys were to pull up trading view here and type in Ondo, what I would be watching out for is probably going to be a breakdown of this 66 range. The 66 cent range, you can see, is some significant support. Bounced off it once, bounced off it twice, bounced off it once, bounced off it twice before breaking underneath it. Anything really between 60 and 50 cents has been a massive buying opportunity. And with Ondo's unlocks coming up in January, you might be lucky to get, of course, a price action that is in that range. But if you look at this trend line, okay, I mean, this is pretty significant. I do expect Ondo to break out here very, very soon. Again, maybe we get one more retest, maybe around the 66 cent range. But I'm looking at a price action for Ondo in the $5 to $7 range by the end of this bull run. And that is because they are the leading tokenization play here with Securitize and Franklin Templeton. So when you have Chainlink, Ondo, and Wormhole working together, I am looking at a value of TVL to exceed, the multi-billion-dollar range, especially as they add in more and more networks. So those are the three top tokenizations plays. That is BlackRock's secret new altcoin they're going to be utilizing to access every single network, specifically Solana, which you guys know has a lot of retail attention. So this could mean even more liquidity to potentially the meme coin market. It really depends on who wins the outcome of these elections. If institutions are given the green light to get access to even more of these markets, just imagine the amount of money that is going to flood into this sector. Now, I'm going to leave you off with one more video here from none other than Sergey Nazarov, who, of course, is the founder of Chainlink, and speaks specifically about the future of tokenized treasury and just tokenized real-world assets. Check this out.
This once again contributes to the new direction of our industry, which is not just about more cryptocurrencies, more meme coins, more artificial yield, cycling and recycling all of these things. It's actually about net new value coming in from the traditional market and coming in not in the hundreds of billions, but in the trillions. That's the next kind of stage of our industry as a whole. And personally, I believe that the real world asset trend and the real world asset category will relatively soon in the next few years overcome the total value of cryptocurrencies. And then our industry, by definition, by the numbers, will not be about cryptocurrencies. It'll be about blockchain technology enabling things like real world assets. And that's what the blockchain industry will be.
And that is where we are moving. That is the future of these chains. I've been telling you guys all year long, I believe this is the future of our cycles. I don't believe we get some blanket retail bull run this time. I believe institutions understand the game. They're now a part of the game. They now own the game, as BlackRock has came in with all the spot ETFs. If we get someone like Hester Pierce ahead of the SEC and you get a green light on this institutional interest, institutions are going to come in a way you have never seen before. And those narratives, the parts and sectors of the crypto industry that the institutions attach themselves to, if it enhances fractional banking, if it enhances and allows them to access new capital markets, that is where the money is not only going to flow to, that is where the money is going to come out of. And I want to be at the forefront of that. And again, I believe this is the tokenized markets. This also includes Ethereum and a few other real world asset plays that if you want me to make videos on, please let me know in the description below. But more importantly, let me know what your favorite RWA plays are going to be for the 2025 bull run. Guys, I'm Joshua Jake, and I will see you in the next video.